I'm Bill Moore. I am the president of PacMoore. We started in 1989 when I joined the company. So when I look into the future and I say, wow, we've had a good 27 years of growth, what gets me up in the morning? How am I going to stay motivated? How am I going to keep going to keep growing at the pace we are? It's a great question to ask yourself, and I think every good leader does that. I was at the Global Leadership Summit last week. Bill Hybels talked about the glasses that you wear as a leader, and one of them was your vision glasses. And it's important as a leader to be fueling vision. How do you do that? That's your passion, right? How does your vision keep the passion that you have? And I have a vision. I've got a clear vision of where we could go, but it's the passion that drives that. How do you get that fueled? Where does that come from? And that question sometimes is very difficult to find. It's very difficult to find that. Sometimes it feels lost. And it's probably hard for people to understand at times. Like, how could you lose that? But you can lose that. You really can lose that. You can get so drowned in the day-to-day failures. And there's so many. And it's the guy at the top, what you hear most of the time is what's not working. What you're often confronted with each day is, here's the things that are broken, how are we supposed to fix them? And when you do that day in and day out, year after year, it starts to wear you out. It starts to kill the passion, it starts to kill your motivation and your inspiration to move ahead. So in that vein, how do you find that? How do you get it back? I'll tell you the way I do it. There's a couple things. One is, I spend a lot more time with the Lord. I spend a lot more time. When I'm feeling my passions waning, that tells me that I'm not listening to Jesus. I'm not listening to the guy that built me. I'm not listening to him say, Bill, here's what your purpose is. Here's why I made you. This is the work I gave you. These are the good works I've assigned to you. You've lost your way. And so I spend more time with him. I go find time with him. And sometimes that's extended time. That may take days for me to go spend with him alone, or with other guys, or with teachers, or with mentors, or with somebody that can breathe into me what God sees in me and speaks into me. So that's one way. The second way I do it is I do spend time with other CEOs. And this is really important, and especially Christian CEOs, men that know me, men that can look at me and I can say, man, I'm bored, I'm dry, I'm discouraged, I'm down, I hate what I'm doing, I'm upset, I'm worn out. And they can take that in and look at me and go, yeah, I get it. I get where you're at. I know what that feels like. And you're not going to be there forever, okay? I'm with you. I'll walk through this with you. Let's talk it through. I can't tell you how important that is. That is so critical. You can't do it with the people that work for you because they can't see that side of you, because then they get discouraged. They lose their way and they think, wow, if he's lost their way, what are we going to do? So you can't do that with your people. You got to have another group of people you do that with, that you can have that outside source in. And then another place I get that strength is from my family. My wife and my sons breathe life into me, and when I spend time with them, it just gives me energy, it gives me life. And so I make sure I spend a lot of time with them. And then the last way I do it is I take vacation. I leave, I get away, and I have to have extended time away. It can't be, I found that if I only leave for a couple days, it's not enough, because I keep my phone going and I keep listening. I have to disconnect my phone, I have to get away from all the emails, I can't text, and I have to spend time away. And I got to spend, for me personally, I have to spend time out in nature. I got to be near some water, near some mountains. I got to be doing physical exercise, because that exercise just clears my mind. It makes me feel so good. That's really important to me, is to get time away. And then the last thing I have is a routine of physical exercise. I think is critical. Physical exercise to me is imperative to keep my passion up. If I don't get good physical exercise, I find that I get negative, I get critical, I get down easy, I don't have the emotional capacity to handle the work, the load, the stress that's on me. And so physical exercise is critical to me. So those are the things I do to fuel passion. That's what keeps me motivated, and that's what keeps me driving the vision that I know God's given me, and I know He wants me to pursue.